Hi folks, welcome back. I'm wood burning the hair on this, and I'm just showing you the direction of the wood burning. Now you don't have to do this if you're not interested in doing it. It's perfectly fine. I just started doing this and I'm just going back and around and really detailing it a little bit more than I would just leaving it plain. You could have left it plain and gone ahead and painted it if you wanted to. That's entirely up to you, but I've got the face pretty well done. You can see we go out from the center like in an oval shape, like a radiant type look to it for the fur. And I'm going to go back over this when I can put my little magnifying glasses on and hit those little spots. I did this real quick so you could see what it looked like. Okay, that's what it looks like so far. And the body, you can see how I have it penciled marked out to go out and around. The only difference I did on this little bear with the tree is I have the candy cane and I have him holding it. He has, I put the little V cuts in for his claws and for the top part of his claws on his feet and on his hands, so on his paws there. So I'm just going to keep showing you what direction this should go in. This will take me a few minutes to go ahead and finish up here. I'll do a better job when I get offline here. It's kind of hard to do this behind the camera like I've been having it, so makes it a little more difficult. I just want a little more detail in the piece, and burning it is a nice way to put texture on an animal, you know, give it that furry look. So we're just gonna kind of turn it there, and I'll go back and finish that up. And what I use is a Detail Master. There's a lot of different ones on the market. It should cost you anywhere between $75 and $150 depending on what model. The higher the wattage, the faster, you know, the more it will burn type thing. And you don't need it super hot, but you know, it depends what you're working on. If you're going to do a lot of birds, a lot of animals, and a lot of texturing, and I mean folks, I mean hours of it, then I would buy something that maybe it's 100 watt. But you know, 70 watt is okay. You know, if you go too hot with it, you can really make it hot for your hands to hang on to that tool piece and all. So really, this is a very simple way of doing it to put texture on an animal. I always said I think the two most things that you need as a wood carver, if you're going to do any type of carving like I've been doing on the last year, is to invest in two things: is a bandsaw. Well, actually three things: a good bandsaw and a good wood burner and a good knife. Okay, so that's pretty well it. So I'm going to make that a little more distinct for where his claws are. We'll do the same thing over here. Okay, so when we go to paint it, it will show up a little bit better. So that's roughly what he'll look like when we have him burned. Then the nose, of course, will be a dark color, like his eyes will be black. You can put a very light raw sienna on over this bear to make it look half nice without going into a lot of color detail, and some of that brown will show up. And I'm going to probably show you how I do that when we get to that point. I'm just going to... Bottom of his feet doesn't have any fur on it, of course, but So you can see this is time consuming to do it this way, but you know, there is no right or wrong way of doing it, folks. If you want to finish it off by burning it like I'm doing, it just gives a little added detail to it, which makes it a nice piece too. You know, painting it's a little different when you paint one of these. When you burn, you don't want to put straight paint on because you don't want to clog all the lines you spent some time putting in there into your piece. And roughly that's what it looks like. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put a burnt sienna over top of this. We'll do this like a hunter green with some highlights of brown for the trunk, and of course the candy cane will be red and white. So when we come back, hopefully I'll have this all painted and done, and then I'll go over the colors that I used and stuff. And the one thing, if you're going to paint this ahead of time of me finishing it, please do not use too much paint when you start. These lines that I put in take a lot of time to put in, and you know, if you clog those lines, you'll take that effect of having a kind of a hairy animal, you know, with fur on there. So just take your time with it. He's pretty well done. I'll just show you up close a little bit what it looks like. And his ears will be brown, of course. So we'll be back to show you what it looks like when we're done. Alright folks, we'll be back soon.